See there? You didn't have to wait long. Welcome, everybody. My name is Shane. There's probably a bunch of you who've never heard of me. I have this tiny little YouTube channel called This Other Radio where I used to make ham radio videos. Now it's kind of whatever I feel like making, which I think YouTube should always be. It's whatever you feel like making. Don't feel like you should put yourself into a niche or a corner. Just do what you want to do. Hey, Bob. Thanks for joining us. Joe Brett, I will say, Meld Studio for the YouTube side is much better because I have the chat on the right-hand side. I can see the chat. I can see my screens. So much better than Facebook. Facebook, I couldn't see anything. That was terrible. And I have the chat on the left side. Hopefully that doesn't get too much distraction for you guys. Tonight we're going to be doing some koozies. It's a dual. First off, before I get started, how's the audio? Am I too loud? Is the music too loud? Let me know. I don't listen to myself in the chat, or I'm sorry, in the playback. So if I need to turn the music down, let me know. I think this is my second streaming from something other than StreamYard, which is a miracle within itself. I could be a tad louder. Well, lucky for you, I can make myself a tad louder. So, let me know how it goes. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. And when you say audio could be louder, are you talking about me or the music? I'm trying to keep a little balance there. Anyway, so tonight we're doing a video on the Longer Nano Duo. That is a dual laser. It's a new product that just came out this year. It's a 2-watt IR, 20-watt blue light, and I bought this off Kickstarter. So, learning. Me, all right. Oh, commercial. I didn't know we were rolling commercials throughout this. That's scary. All right, I turn myself up a little bit more. Hopefully that's better. I can also turn the music down just a little bit. So, there we go. We're learning, folks. We're learning. But tonight we're doing something different. It's a dual. You've probably seen it on a couple other streams, or maybe you haven't. We have regular leatherette that we can hit with the laser, and we can turn it black, burn it. And then we have leatherette that has a layer of foil underneath it, so that you get one color one way, and then when you hit it with the laser, you just take this very microscopic layer off the top of it, and it exposes like a foil packing like that. So it lets you, so you're not doing things that's not just like black. So there's some tricks that come along with this, because if you do like my normal settings that I would use for doing a leather koozie, it will just bake them. It will burn straight through them, and you don't get this cool different like highlight. As always, man, material tests are your best friends. And with a 20-watt machine, I was guessing that 50% of that was probably going to be way too much, even at 30,000 millimeters per minute. And I was right, because the first one I burned right through that sucker. But I was targeting somewhere between 25-30% power, because I don't want to run the power too low, because I don't want it to take an hour and a half to do a koozie. I want to get it done. You know, I got 20 watts. I got plenty of speed. If you've got a 10-watt machine, don't screw it up. Too late. I already screwed one up. Anytime you buy material that you're going to do, order an extra one. Just go ahead and do it. You'll thank me later. I intended to make 6 of these, and I think I bought 8 total, because I knew I was going to completely destroy a couple of them trying to get the settings down. And if you could see on this one, you see how it's silver on the bottom and then kind of halfway up. It's more of a lighter color. I was trying to go super conservative with only 10 or 15% power. And another thing is how many lines per inch the LPI that you're going to use, how many times that laser is going to scan across an inch of material. So the more that you add on there, the more heat you're going to add to it. So if you're putting down 500 LPI, you're concentrating a lot of heat, and that's kind of what I did down there at the bottom. You can see that black spot there, but it concentrated a ton of heat and ended up burning it. So this took me about I'd say probably an hour to figure out to get good settings. But I ended up burning this first, and then I burned that, and then I was like, wait a minute, why didn't I just do a material test pattern? Which if you're using Xtool software, those are super easy. I'm using Lightburn tonight. That's pretty simple to put to do a material test. We'll do another video sometime on just material test, and yeah, so then you won't waste as much material because you'll have the settings. There you go. All right, so tonight we're doing my good friend Mike into MAK, ham radio friend of mine, reached out to me and said, hey, can you make some koozies for me? And I said, you know what? I have these that I ordered, and I've been looking for an excuse to use them. So let's make something cool. So let's look at artwork. So Mike sent me some JPEGs, and JPEGs in LaserBurn will burn as like just an image. So it breaks it down into, if you're using grayscale, it breaks it down into gray and black, and then it adjusts power based off of how black it is versus how gray it is, or even how white it is. So if it's a white, it won't put any power out. If it's black, it puts whatever you set as the top power out. So if you have the ability, and I think everyone should, there's a software called vectorwitch.com. I'll put a link down in the description of the video. There's no affiliations to this at all. I pay for this software. I pay about, I think it starts out at $10 a month for 100 credits. But you can take these images and you can upload to them, and it will spit out an SVG. And lasers love SVGs because it gives them a toolpath, and it just makes life so much simpler. You get constant power across the entire image. You don't have that dithering that the image modes produce. Just makes for a very clean image. So if you can, it's worth the investment, in my humble opinion, to invest in that software. And it's fantastic. I've got some pictures over on social media where I did I took a picture of a dog, put it into, it's over there, I'll go get it in a minute, and burned it into a Christmas ornament. So something to think about. Take a swig here. Joe Brett, you're missing out. Cheers. All right, so let's get started. So if you're not familiar with Lightburn, Lightburn has a couple different things for selection here. These are all grouped together, but if they were not, if you drag from left to right, you have to encompass the entire image in order to select it. If you swipe from right to left, you see how it turns green, and whatever you touch with that green box will be selected. So that's kind of cool. But let's get this started. Drag it in here. I cheated a little bit and got all these graphics set up ahead of time, so sorry. But we still have to center them. And a shortcut key for Lightburn is select your image and then hit P, and that will center it on like the lasers. My laser's work area is 160 millimeters by 40 millimeters. Well, this will snap it directly to the center of that. Unfortunately, if I didn't put my my coaster there, my graphic there, my leatherette there, that looks pretty good. Let's switch over to this view. Is it gonna work? Hey. All right, if you are not familiar with Lightburn and on the Longer Nano Duo, you have to run some macros. Let me jump back over to this other screen. I should have hit this first. And it's probably covered up by my head, but yeah, so right here is the macro tab. And in the macro tab, from the factory, you won't have these LED ones to turn the lights on and off, but you will have the galvo mode and you'll have the different lasers. So we're going to be using the blue light, which is 450 nanometers. So we'll set galvo and we want the blue light. So move back over to our layer. That's set correctly, we know. So we'll jump over this again. All right, let's frame it up and see where we're at. It looks good on screen, but we're gonna double check. So it looks like it needs to go a little bit to the right. So if you select, you press Control and the right arrow, it will move it just a tiny bit to the right. Let's reframe that. Let's go a little bit more. All right, that looks good. Unfortunately, I cannot, Ron. It's not that powerful of a laser. And I don't think I want to melt people's eyes out. That might be kind of frowned upon. All right, that looks good. So let's double check. So we're gonna be doing about 420 lines per inch, and we're using 38% power, and I'm doing 27,500 millimeters per minute. Just it's got to go quick in order to take that first layer off. So that all looks good. We're focused. So Lightburn says we're going to be about 2 minutes to do this. So here we go. Let's make smoke. There we go. Hey Ron, how you doing tonight? Thanks for hopping in. Oh, and don't forget to turn on your smoke system. Before I get yelled at, I do have my laser safety glasses on, but the laser beam's blocked, so it can't see me, or I can't see it. Awesome, Ron. Congrats. So so you can see, with that fast of a laser speed and that little of a power, we're just taking that top little layer of blue off and exposing that foil layer that's underneath it, which is exactly what we wanted. And if you look, or you can see, right at the very, very bottom of that graphics, there's some lines in it. I don't know how well it's going to show up on stream, but the leather actually bows up just a little bit, so that's throwing the laser out of focus. So what we have to do when this is completely done, we'll do a short little pass where we'll take like 10% power, where we just go over that little spot in order to take the rest of that blue off, because it was just slightly out of focus. What's in your koozie tonight? What's your beverage of choice? Tonight is a little Buffalo Trace. Would that be lasering under the influence, and should I be doing that live? Honestly, officer is my first one. Hey, gotta stay hydrated, man. I've been doing that, I think it's called Gator Light. So it's like electrolytes without all the sugar and stuff. Really good stuff. I usually drink like one of those before I go ballooning. That looks plumb fancy right there. Beautiful. All right, let me go take a look at that. So there's a couple of spots just below where it says portable ham radio. There's a couple of lines in it. So we're going to drop the power down to about 15%, because we don't want to take a bunch more of that stuff off. We just want to take those little small pieces off. So 15% power. Let's rerun that. It's like I've meant to do it. You got the right one, baby. Don't look at laser lights without safety glasses on. All right. That side is done. Get back over here so y'all can see this. Yeah, it works. So the blue light on some plastics, so if or on some metals, if it's like an anodized card, you can actually take that anodized material off and look something similar to that with the blue light. With the infrared, you can actually go pretty deep into metal. It takes several passes. Mine's only 2 watts for the IR stuff, but yeah, that's actually a piece of metal that I burned all of my business card information into. Plastics just depends on the plastic. I have some acrylic that is layered acrylic, extruded acrylic. It makes a terrible mess and it will just melt it. But if you have layered acrylic, you can actually get. I have any. We should do that. We'll do another stream of that. We'll do acrylic sometime. But you can actually whatever color you have, it'll end up engraving white. So you can make a white sign out of any other color of acrylic, and then you can cut it out with a laser too. So that's kind of cool. All right, so it's going to be the back side of the koozie. So let me go flip it around. If you're not following Mike into MAK, go follow him on YouTube. You're gonna be able to get you one of these. He's gonna be giving some of these away. Acrylics stink. Acrylics stink almost as bad as fake cow. When I first started that laser a minute ago, I looked over and I saw this plume of smoke going up, and I was like, "Oh crap! I didn't turn on." I have an inline fan that pulls 200 CFM out just to evacuate the smoke out of here, because the leatherette smells like crap. It's terrible. The things we do. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I love being able to see the chat. That's a lot better. All right. Let's center this up. All right. Let's frame that bad boy. Good, actually. Man, you'd think I was batch processing all these. Joe Brett found out the hard way. He didn't have any ventilation and started lasering stuff, and found out that when you put laser heat to rawhide, it stinks really bad. So, but I did see that you got that hose going out the window, so good on you, man. Turn this back up to 38% power, 27.5 on the speed, and 423. I usually shoot between 400 and 500 LPI on Leatherette. If it's not enough, you end up getting lines in there, and if it's too much, you burn through it. It's so true. I looked over and I just saw this cloud floating up above the laser, and I was like, I forgot to turn something on. All right, that looks good. Let's burn the second one here. And go. There we go. You know, it's a really pretty blue light over there, but unfortunately, since I don't have the shield on, I gotta get my Ray Charles look. See what we got. And it's like I've done this 3 other times. Joe, I don't know if you got on a new set or not, but I went ahead and upgraded mine. The one that came with the machine was kind of very safety glasses like, and I didn't really. So these are called free mascots, and it's actually printed on here what their frequencies that they block out. So if you want a link, I have an affiliate link for these if you want some. Arthur, you know, I'm not sure. It's not real leather, so I'm thinking if you just get it dirty, like soap and water. We actually on those, that laser dug into that material, so it's not like that. Unless you tear more material off, you're not gonna that logo's not gonna come off because it's actually burned into it. But soap and water, if it gets dirty, they don't really have a care label to go along with these. But because I clean them off before I send them out to you, I squirt them down with LA Awesome, which is a degreaser, and wipe them down with an old toothbrush, and then wipe that off with a microfiber just to get the charring off of it. So soap and water, I can't see how that would be anything you'd need more than that just to get the crud off of it. Does the surface have to be flat, or would you be able to use an insulated coffee cup made of metal? So yes, absolutely. I have a piece of equipment on the way. It's a rotary device. So when you set it up in the chuck, you'll create that flat space, make it nice and level, and then it will rotate the cup so that you're always engraving on a level surface, but it'll rotate that around where you can like engrave all the way around it and make this like really cool designs. Looking forward to that. Like right now, the ornaments that I did, as long as you keep the graphic relatively small so that the laser doesn't go out of focus, you can engrave on a curve. So within like a millimeter or two, if it goes out of focus, that's usually not too bad. If it goes much more than that, you just won't get any burning going on. You bet. All right, let me take a look at that. Make sure we don't have to do a cleaning pass. Mighty fine work, son. Mighty fine work. Hey, Chris, how are you, man? Turned out nice. That's very nice. Come on, focus. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I agree, Chris. You can't use like your actual YouTube name. It makes you use like your channel name. We should file a complaint. Because you know they listen. One of my balloon crew folk reached out, wanted me to do some Christmas ornaments, put their pets on the Christmas ornament. I have some pictures of that on. I'll grab that on my next trip over. Yeah, I can take a picture of your pet, living or non-living, and run it through AI, and it'll create a vector in which the laser I can burn that onto a Christmas ornament. Pretty cool. Yes. The QR code did come in handy at Fiesta, because people they didn't bring the amount of money that I needed them to bring. They're like, can I just order one off your website? Sure. Fill this out. More than happy to take your money later on. I'm thinking about doing a Shopify site and not doing that whole Etsy thing. I heard Etsy's like takes all your money and they keep all your customers' contact information, which I'm not real keen on. So looking at doing maybe a Shopify for little odds and ends like this. I'm gonna do hats, like if you want your call sign or something on a hat, do that. Let me get this loaded in. This is what the ornament looks like. This is my little test ornament. But come on, focus. Come on. There we go. But yeah. It's just a regular glass ornament. And then once you hit it with the laser, I put a little white spray paint on the inside of it so that the image pops. And then this came from a picture. I ran that through AI and it came up with the vector. It's really cool stuff. Can you do your ham license on a business card? Yeah, absolutely. I could probably find the template somewhere, but I did QSL cards on the show. I don't know if you saw that, but I did a wooden QSL card for Izzo. But yeah, I could totally, I just have to look at the how it's written out, but I could totally burn your license on one of these. It'd be easy peasy. Always check your focus. Let's frame that up. That looks good. The next stream I'll use another software that will actually trace the path of the tools. It looks really cool. It'll draw it out. All right. Let's burn it. Burn it! If you can think of it, Ron, I can pretty much burn it onto just about anything. You could do photos on. So I was just playing. This is a piece of a metal business card, and with that IR laser, I actually burned the image of the dog on that. That was kind of cool. This is just a piece of leatherette. Whoop! Come on now. But yeah, you can get really good detail. Just burn it on. There you go. On different kinds of leatherette, and you can cut that out and make patches and stuff out of it too. This thing makes quick work of it. 2 minutes. 2 minutes aside. Pretty much easy to batch it out. Thanks, Ron. Y'all let me know how the stream looks. This is the first time I've used something other than StreamYard. This is actually being encoded via my own personal computer on a piece of software called Meld Studio. So let me know. Is it 1080? Does it look like crap? Let me know. I think we're going to be doing some more metal work coming up. I've been asked to do some pew pew slides. So I can use the IR laser is great on metal, so I'll be able to do some engraving on that. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I appreciate y'all. This last minute stream. Didn't have anything else to do, and I needed to knock these out. I know some of you guys like seeing how the sauce is made behind the scenes on some of these, so I figured I'd share with you. So thanks for swinging by. If you got questions after the stream, drop them down in the comment section. I'd love to hear back from you. YouTube is getting mad at me because I hadn't uploaded any content. I've been doing more hot air balloons and lasers and stuff like that. So sorry, YouTube. I haven't done any ham radio stuff. So all right, let's go check it out. You know, Bob, if I could drum up enough business to where I could work for myself, honestly, the ballooning stuff, if I could make ballooning full time, I would love that. And then this laser stuff, I've always told people that I would rather work for myself than work for someone else, even though I know it's twice the work, but I get more fulfillment out of that. But yeah, I mean, if I can turn this into something that if I'm making, 1,300 hats a month, or if I'm doing, good stuff, I'd leave Southwest in a heartbeat. Just like, it's more calming, more cool, more chill. But the ballooning stuff's a lot of fun, and it usually only takes place on the weekend, so I'd have during the week to do anything else. So that's a pipe dream, as I call it. All right, let's drag that off. Would I quit before that? No. I like my perks. I like my flying for free. I like that stuff. But eventually, if I could get to some place like that, it'd be cool. All right, let's frame it up. Thanks, chat. Look good to you? Following the little blue line. I wish this was full color. There's a yellow filter over this camera so that when the laser's firing, you can still see what's going on. Otherwise, if it was just blind the camera if it didn't have some sort of filter to block the light out. All right. Let's boing it. Chris, how was your other stream? How was the guys? I guess Live Free and Ham were on tonight. They have a happy hour, I'm assuming. We've got a big announcement coming from the clubhouse, so make sure you're subscribed over there if you like ham radio content. What? I will. If you like ham radio adjacent content, because we don't always talk about ham radio, but didn't win anything. Well, we've got more giveaways coming. I'll spoil it here because I don't think I'll get a ton of views on this stream, but we're going to give away an HF radio here pretty quick. So be prepared. More news to come. Did you get your extra upgrade, or are you still waiting? We're going to do extra of April again. That's good. That's the most important thing, man. It's Friday night. You should be laughing your butt off. I want you to do it. You have until April. Get it done this year. Don't put it off. Get it. Do it. Do it. That doesn't surprise me. He likes those guys. That's his neighbors, most of them. I thought it'd be nice to kind of just do something chill. You guys watch me work a little bit. Maybe this kind of stuff interests you. Let me know. Hit a like if you like this stuff. If you want to see more laser stuff, more maker kind of stuff. You know, the title of the YouTube channel was This Side of the Radio, which when I created the channel, it was supposed to be what goes on behind the radio. What kind of hobbies? What do people do other than radio? and the majority of it has been radio for the last few years. And I appreciate the almost 4,000 people who have subscribed for that. I thank you guys. It's awesome. But people change, hobbies change, lives change, and I thought I kind of got burned out of doing the same old thing about a Chinese radio that does the same thing. Like no one was really innovating. And I told the manufacturers, like, unless you've got something that's like mind blowing, like APRS, over an HT, I'm not interested. So, and they stopped sending me stuff. That's all right. All the things that they gave me, I gave away to people in the community. So I got a lot of people on the air for that. So thank y'all for sending me all the free stuff. But yeah, we're going to try some different things. Thank you, Bob. I'm going to try. I've got this particular laser. There's not a lot of YouTube videos on it. So I'm going to do some setup videos and stuff like that. It's not the most user-friendly user-friendly laser. It takes a little bit of finessing, as I like to say, to get it hooked up and working as it should. But I'll do some videos on that. When I do the hat patches and stuff like that, I made some like hiking patches for Frank over there at Tank Radio. That was kind of cool. But yeah, I'll definitely add some more of this stuff. All right, let's take a look. How we do? Is it a keeper? Oh yeah. Man, these turned out great. Come on, focus. Focus, little camera. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, little buddy. Yeah, got some good detail on that. I want to do some challenge coins. There's a new functionality that was released this week from the manufacturer of this laser that I can do challenge coins. So I want to learn how to do that. That'd be really cool. It's like brass coins and stuff. One more in the bag. Awesome. One to go. If you wonder why you always see this, so out of the bag, these things are all kinds of wonky. So in order to get a good engrave on them, you gotta put a pretty flat surface on it. So I use this as kind of like a jig to provide some structure. I told Mike I was going to live stream it, so hopefully he'll either pop in or he'll see the stream. I should have streamed this last night when I was trying to get all the settings down, because I was cursing because I was burning through or not getting the right settings, not doing the correct material test. All right, 73, buddy. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. There we go. Now we got a nice, whoop. Now we got a nice flat surface to engrave on. Take some of those twists out. All right, let's put it in our, put it in the laser. All right, let's frame it up. All right, this one needs to go up just a smidge. And to the right, just a smidge. A little more to the right. I'm gonna regret this, but just a little more to the right. The image on the, well, you can't see that screen, but you can see the framing. Welcome back. Hopefully the doggo was happy with you. All right, let's frame that up. Looks good to me. Let's send it. In the words of my my manager, yeet. There we go. Mine's just excited to get back in for a treat. Oh, I see lines. Get my safety glasses. Yep. I don't know if you can see it, but down there at the bottom, you see those like little dark spots? That's where the laser was just a smidge out of focus. So it didn't quite burn through, so we'll have to do a little cleanup pass on that. Bob, can you shoot me an email or shoot me a message in Discord? We'll come up with something. I've got... I just happen to have... happen to have 3 brown ones. I don't have any more of the blue ones, but I just happen to have 3 brown ones we could do. Thank you. Just send it to well, I'm good on QRZ. I haven't quite figured out how much of the ether I want to put out on YouTube. But I'm good at QRZ. You can email me from there. K5QBF. Did you see the ones we did for Carlos and Steve on Tuesday night? That was hilarious. Some of the best use of AI yet. No, I didn't, Ronnie. I asked for one and they didn't give me one. I don't think I'm fancy enough for an affiliate code with Longer yet. But I will say, if you, depending on what you're wanting to do, I would point you towards an Xtool F1. The Xtool F1 Lite is just the blue diode laser, 10 watts. That's what Joe Brett just got. The X-Tool F1, the regular, is a 2 watt IR and a 10 watt blue light. The X-Tool software is by and large crazy good. Bob, it's K5QBF, Kilo 5 Quebec Bravo Foxtrot. I kept telling Joe Brett, it's like, if I had it to do it all over again, I would probably have went with an X-Tool. It's just the learning curve on either light burn or laser burn with longer is a little bit steeper. It takes a little bit longer for me to get it. X-Tool, XTOOL. All right, let's do a cleanup pass on that one. So go 15% power. We don't want to do the whole thing, just in one little piece there. So put my laser spectacles on. Pick up some of it. See how I took the lines that were down there and took all those out? That's what we're trying to do. Those are cleanup passes. What's up, Chris? No eggplants. Wrong show. This is the tamer side of the clubhouse. We're doing lasers while we're partaking. That's always a good thing. Thankfully, I have a fire extinguisher close by. So for those of you just joining us, I have the Longer Nano Duo, which is a 1064 and a 450 nanometer laser. And tonight we're using the 450, and we're taking this particular koozie is 2 different colors. So it's blue, and then it has a foil layer underneath it. So we're using the laser to knock the blue off in order to give us a silver engrave. So the ones you see on the clubhouse, we burn through them and burn the image in, but this one we're just trying to knock that blue light off, or the blue piece off. All right, let's frame it up. See how maybe I got it the first time around. Just a smidge. Thanks for the sub, by the way. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to regret this, I know. Let's go a smidge to the right. As Callum says, top bananas. I think that'll work. All right, back to 38% power. And if you're watching the stream and you're just looking for settings for your Nano Duo, for this dual layer, I'm doing 27,500 millimeters per minute, and I'm doing a power of 38%. One pass, and I'm using an LPI of about 430. So not quite, but 0.060 millimeters for those of you who like Imperial. All right, let's send it. Chris, how was the wire sale? Did you sell out all that you had? I'm sure you did. I'm the Xtool Studio, man, is top-notch software. It is fantastic. Just depends on what you're wanting to do, because the S1 is it's a gantry style, where mine is a galvo style. Now the trade-off is speed. The gantry is slower but has a bigger working area versus the galvo, which is, so what that means basically is there's an emitter inside of the head. It's got two mirrors, and these mirrors move the beam back and forth in order to focus it where you want to put the mark down at. Now the drawback to that is the mirror can only throw so far, so you have a very small working area. So like by mine is 160 by 140 millimeters, is the whole working area that I've got, whereas some of the gantry machines you can do 12 by 24, so you can actually do a complete sheet of stuff. But yeah, Joe Brett got the F1 Lite. It's a gantry style, and it's 10 watts of the blue light, 450 nanometer. You can mark on just about anything but metal. Some metal you can put like a dark mark on, but it won't like engrave into it. This 2 watt that I've got does great on slate, rock, metal. I engraved my earbuds case, put my name on that. That's kind of cool. Oh, awesome. Sorry, Chris. Chris, I think did I send you you won one of the koozies, didn't you? I think. Because last I looked, that was in Toronto, so it should be going to Jody's, and he's supposed to forward that to you. But let me know if I've got that correct, because I could be wrong. But I think so. Ooh, that stuff stinks. Awesome. Thank you. And before I get yelled at in the comments, I've got something blocking me and the laser, so I don't have to wear these the whole time that I'm on. I do put them on. Oh, it's beeped. All right. One quick little small pass to clean it up. So Lightburn is good. It's got a pretty steep learning curve, but the things that are built into Xtool Creative Studio, I think it's called now, is top notch. Like I'm probably I need a CO2 machine for some of the things that I'm doing, and I'm probably going to do I won't do a P3 just because I don't have that kind of money laying around, but I'll probably do an S1 or maybe a P2 to get a CO2 laser. All right, 10% power. Let's do a quick cleanup pass on that. Got the right one, baby. There we go. Cool. That little cleanup pass there at the end just took all that. We had a little bit of leftover down here, just took it right off. So if you're looking for this stuff, for these koozies, if you have a wholesale account, you can get them from JDS Industries. Or you just reach out to me and I'll do it. I'll take care of it for you. That's the best thing. We are done, my friends. Thanks for joining me tonight. As always, I appreciate it. Y'all got any questions before we wrap up? Anything? Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. We got some hats coming out for another YouTuber. That's kind of my thing right now. I'm doing a well, let me pick, hold on. So this is the dual layered leather patch, and I got a YouTuber that I'm going to make a square patch for them that will have their logo. So it's a black patch, and then when you hit it with the laser, it's got like a copper thing underneath it. So, and then I did my material test to get my settings. So if you have a laser, if you're getting a laser, test again, test, and test again. You'll thank me. But anywho, thank you, Bob. Thanks everybody for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. It's kind of an impromptu hour-long stream, so thanks for hanging out with me. I definitely appreciate it. I'll come up with some more things. Probably when I do Jason's hats, I may throw in a live stream, maybe tomorrow night or something. We'll see. Actually, I have a holiday party tomorrow night, so it might be maybe during the day tomorrow, or maybe sometime Sunday. But anyway, hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for jumping on my live stream tonight. Share it, like it, subscribe it. I appreciate it. 73 to you. We'll see you next time. For those of you that don't speak ham radio, 73 means goodbye. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining.